Hi there. So this week I want to talk about the importance of setting personal boundaries. And a great reflection and example of this is what I've been doing more intentionally to do just that, to work a little bit differently, to take more time off intentionally, to plan and safeguard, trips to rejuvenate and kind of rest and recharge. And I talked about this in a couple of my other posts recently. So I'm up in Lake Placid now. I'm getting a hike in today on a Monday, which I never normally would be able to do because I've created some boundaries and some guardrails, if you will, in my professional and personal life. So I want to share with you a couple of tips that I've really found helpful if you're looking to create a little bit of space between your career and your business and your personal life, and actually in so doing become more productive, more focused in the time you're working, and also then more present and enjoying more of your personal time, doing the things you love with the people you love. So a couple of ways to set boundaries is this: creating set time blocks where you're going to work and where you're not. So this could be setting expectations with clients that communication after a certain time, unless it's an emergency, maybe after 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. will get answered the next day. Or it could even be an autoresponder on emails, which I've used, meaning we'll get back to you within 12 hours. Somebody from my team or I will get back to you. It's setting the communication preferences from the beginning and from the outset with clients, colleagues, etc., with your boss, so that you're not all of a sudden beholden to really long hours, crazy claims and demands on your time on a Sunday at 9 p.m. and other things. So prime example of this, I do send some of my employees emails and text messages on off business hours, whether it be in the evening or weekends, because that's how I work. But I realize that there needs to be a place where there's not work, right, in your mind, in your life, etc. There needs to be that balance, that separation. So I'm trying to work on that, realizing that the way I work to get things out and just out of my mind when I'm thinking of them maybe might disrupt or create a little bit of interruption in somebody enjoying their personal time, right, their time off. So I'm working on that. Again, it's setting expectations, it's communicating clearly, and it's creating boundaries in your professional life. So it's this whole idea of realizing that tomorrow is another day, that there is time for all of this, that just because we have a huge to-do list and we don't make it through everything each day, that's okay, as long as we're ambitious, we're working hard, and we're, again, being focused and productive in our time at work. So that's a great way to do it. Another way to do it is to set really strong morning and evening routines to help you create and maintain boundaries in your life, because this safeguards personal time, again, at the beginning and the ending of each day. So I firmly believe that if we win the morning, we win the day, right? You've probably heard that phrase. I certainly didn't coin it, but it's that idea of having an hour to 2 hours in the morning where you do the things that are important to you, that center you, that set you up for success for the rest of the day. Your health habits. You're doing those things when you have time, before the rest of the world is up, before the working world and the business day starts, when it gets hectic and chaotic. So for me, that morning routine usually takes me about an hour and a half. And it includes things like taking my vitamins, drinking a glass of water, writing my gratitudes, reading affirmations, spending 45 minutes to an hour reading a few different news sources, namely the Wall Street Journal for current events, market, and industry information, exercising and or running, looking at my schedule and, again, confirming my goals and planning the day, and then really getting into it, right? Really entering my workday with intention, with focus and a level of centeredness that I wouldn't have had I not done that prior to that morning routine. Had I woken up late, I would have felt behind, I would have felt reactive, I would have felt kind of rushed and skittish, and I wouldn't have been as fully focused and productive throughout the day. It would have been reflected in the quality of my output and my work and the quantity as well. So strong morning routine is key. A strong evening routine is almost equally important too, because without a strong evening routine, unwinding, getting away from screens, spending some time reading, spending some time with your family, obviously, connecting with friends, doing things that are important to you, passion projects, hobbies. If we don't do that to unwind and we're just constantly working up to the point where, right before we go to sleep, which is what I did for years, and I'm really moving away from that, turning off more like 8 or 9 p.m. For me, somebody who's single without kids, that works. If you have a family, that's not going to work for that long. It's not a sustainable model. But for me, I'm really trying to turn off and have at least a couple hours of downtime from my evening routine, which usually includes time blocked reading time in my book, maybe a documentary, maybe another run, some kind of cardio, being outside, could be going out and meeting up and connecting with friends, but it's generally not work related. So strong evening routine, again, preparing yourself for rest, for a restful night, is also really key to, again, safeguarding your time, right? Creating boundaries. They can create a line of delineation and differentiation between your working world and time and your personal life and time as well. So hopefully these were helpful. Just a couple of tips on how to set and create and maintain boundaries in your life. This will help you be more focused, intentional, and productive at work, and it will help you be more engaged and present in your personal life, in your relationships with your family, your friends, and doing the things that you love the most with the people you love the most. So if you got value from this, shoot me a line, let me know, drop a comment or like, or share this with somebody who could as well. And again, to your success and happiness. We'll talk to you next week.